Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to CraftyBeesFlorida.
Hi, I'm Christina.
And I'm Gayle.
We're on episode 8.
Wow, it's September 14th. I can't believe September's half over
I know,
already.
right? I keep thinking that too. I'm like, where's the time going? It'll be Christmas. I guess we have to start thinking about Christmas knits.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
You're right.
Slap me.
Not this episode, but yeah, maybe for next time.
Yeah.
We will.
Yeah.
So this is a podcast where we discuss knitting, crocheting, maybe, some beekeeping.
Beekeeping, all things crafty and fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, so let's get started. It's been a while, I think, since we spoke last, almost a month. Which is way too long. Sorry about that, you guys.
And we've missed you.
Yeah.
I realized today that I really missed doing this.
I know. I did the same thing. I was like, geez, we haven't talked to everybody and we have so much to talk about. So I think we missed a week and a half ago because we had Hurricane.
Right.
Not Vidalia. I always want to say Vidalia with a V. I think of an onion, but I think it was Idalia.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And thankfully, though, I didn't get really much. Did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Mm-hmm. I really feel like I am almost single-handedly, our family is single-handedly responsible for it not coming to this area. Because we did days and days of preparation. You know, I had to ratchet strap. You noticed when you came in, I'm sure the ratchet straps are still on the beehives.
There you go.
I ratchet strapped them down, got them all ready. We had to trailer the horses an hour and a half away to Lake Placid and let them go in a pasture because that's safer for them than being in our yard that's covered with trees and our barn is old. And they say that you should not have horses in a barn during a bad storm because they can get freaked out and they can hurt themselves, kicking up against the walls of the barn.
See, I wouldn't have gone that way. Had you not said something, I would have been like, put them in the barn. So no, huh?
No.
They've got to go free like a wild horse.
Yes, and you know what they
do?
They do. They know what to do. Okay. They'll get into it, they're pack animals, and so they'll get into a pack and they'll put their backsides toward the storm, all their heads facing in. So.
Isn't that interesting? Mm-hmm. So you were prepared. Well, thank you for that.
Yes, my pleasure.
I was completely ill-prepared. I pretended it was not coming. Yeah. I think the day before it was supposed to get there, I finally said, maybe we need to get some sandbags.
Yeah. Oh, that was only at our house, the preparations, but we have a little cottage on Anna Maria.
That's right, you guys had.
And my husband had to go over and he got some guys to come and help him, and they had to board up the cottage too. Right. So put all those, not board up, they're metal shutters that are really heavy and take a lot of work. So so all that preparation. But you know what? We were so lucky, so fortunate again. And I do know some people, I've talked to a couple different people who, like in the Tarpon Springs area, up around that area, there was a lot of flooding. So some people still did have a lot of damage. So our hearts go out to those people.
Well, when we were headed up to Memphis, we were up 75, and I was shocked once we got up towards where the hurricane came in.
In that Big Bend area.
Yeah, there was trees, tons of trees down, roadsides down. I think it's so easy to become isolated on ourselves.
Right.
That, and they don't get hit very often, so they were probably quite ill-prepared, not personally, but just, not really knowing what to do when you don't get hit that often. It just ends up.
Yeah, I think they said that was the first time that a storm had ever come in at that area.
Right.
So a major hurricane.
Yeah.
So
we had some flooding at our house, but it was only 2 or 3 feet, and it went out pretty quick. We did, Jason's brother was down, and I was so thankful for that because I think the hurricane came in the night, and so the next day was kind of on off, with rain and stuff like that, and so I was outside, and so the water was kind of 2 feet or so out towards the fence.
Oh my
And
gosh.
yeah,
That's a lot.
it was quite it was
Wow.
quite a bit. And so I was looking at it, and so it was up to like an inch from the top of the stones that the beehives sit on.
Oh boy.
So I was like, and it was still coming in. It was coming in as high tide, which happens,
So it was the storm surge.
Well, the storm brings in the surge, and then when
Right.
it becomes high tide, it comes
Sure.
in even further. So I was like, look, it's still supposed to be coming in. We've got to raise the beehives. So thankfully, Patrick was there. So we went outside. It's pouring down rain. It's first thing in the morning. We all have on wellies, but they're filling up with water because the water is above the top of the wellies. Or I don't know what they call them everywhere. Rubber boots, those little rubber boots. I just call them wellies because I think that I heard that. I think they call them wellies in England, and I thought it was adorable.
It is adorable.
I just say they're wellies.
Yeah, everybody knows what you mean.
So I had to duct tape the front of the hive to keep the bees from coming out.
Oh.
So I put a rag in there and duct taped it, and then the guys lifted it, and I put in some more cinder blocks under there to raise them another 6 inches or so. And so thankfully that was enough. We didn't have to do any more than that. And the girls really weren't that upset about it. There were some that were. I was surprised.
The girl bees.
Yes.
The bees.
Yes, the bees weren't that upset about it. Some were out already, and so when they came back, believe it or not, they just kind of fluttered around us. Like, what's going on? Yeah, it was kind of weird.
Interesting.
There wasn't that many, maybe 10 or 20, but for each hive, as they came back and we had it, blocked where they couldn't get in, they just kind of stayed right where we were. And then when I finished, I just took the tape off and they just went in. And nobody came out angry or anything. So
interesting.
Yeah, I was pleased that nobody came out angry at us because we wouldn't have been able to shuffle through the water.
Oh yeah, fast enough. Oh my god.
Yeah. But I mean, other than that, it was completely. I don't think it was too much for us, right? Just the
we really escaped the worst of it. So
so we had that.
Good.
Yeah, so we did that, and that was the first week, and then the next week I was on vacation.
Yes, and that is a story that needs to be told.
So that's kind of a vacation from hell. I think it was more stress than any vacation should ever be.
You needed a vacation from your vacation.
I know. We were camping, and so we have an RV, and we've only had it a year. We've only gone out in it like 5 times, and all 5 times have been really close to home. Because we don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we need.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
We just kind of, doing it close to home, a long weekend. And so this is the first time we've taken it out of state. We went just outside of Memphis, Tennessee, and the slide wouldn't come out. And we chose a site that was a tent site that didn't have good electricity. And so we couldn't run the air conditioner, why we didn't move. You guys, I have no idea. It was like 90 degrees. We're sweaty. We can't leave the dogs behind. So we've got to take the dogs with us everywhere we go. And we were stinky, sweaty, not particularly happy people.
And it took you, 15 hours?
15 hours because we left on Labor Day weekend. Yes, so it took us a hugely long time.
Stop by a highway patrol.
Well, we were driving up, and so my husband's brother was behind us, and he says, you guys, lights on the trailer isn't on. I'm going to stay right behind you. And so, we didn't figure it out until night. I guess we shouldn't have checked it before. We were excited to leave, and we didn't do the checks we should have done. Mm-hmm. And he was right behind us. He fell behind, and then the police in Alabama pulled us over, and he was really nice, thank goodness. And he just gave us a warning, and told us to drive the rest of the way with our hazards on. So that was a fuse. So we did fix that when we got to the campground. We did fix that. So then we left there halfway through the week, and we were going to our cottage on the other side of Tennessee, on the eastern side of Tennessee. And so we get there, and there's repairs that need to be done on the cottage that we were not expecting. So that was a bit of a shock. So then, you know, we were sleeping there. At least we had air conditioning.
Yeah.
And there were bed bugs. Gayle, I am still so itchy. Now, they didn't bite my husband. I left.
Really? They didn't bite him?
At all.
He's too mean.
No, yes, he's tough. So I left the bed like halfway through the night. I didn't know what it was. I've never had bed bugs before, and I've never been bitten by anything. And I just thought, you know what? I'm itchy. He's snoring. I'm leaving. And I went and laid on the couch, and I mean, I am tore up with these little red welts. It's disgusting. Yes. So, and then the tires, we had to get 2 new tires when we were in Tennessee on the truck because it felt like it was out of balance, but the belts, which I didn't even know, the steel belts in a tire break.
Yeah.
So it's like this big like welt on the tire. So that...
I didn't even know that could happen. I thought that's why you got steel belted tires.
I don't disagree. So we could not leave to come home fast enough. It was like absolutely miserable. So yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
And you really needed a vacation.
Yeah, you know, I'm trying to think of it on a positive light. You know what? The tires were a real issue. We could have had an accident or something.
True. That's
you know, the stuff with the cabin can go, I'm going to make a claim under the homeowner's insurance.
Yeah.
The RV is under warranty. So it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Everybody's alive.
That's good.
You know,
yeah, everybody returned.
Yeah, I would like to de-stress, though. I still feel very anxious.
I bet.
Yeah. So I was thinking maybe this weekend, if you aren't doing something on Saturday, maybe we could go look at that new earth yarn that looks like Spin Cycle. What's the name of the shop that it's at? I don't remember. It's in a bit of yarn in Englewood.
Yeah.
Maybe there, and we can go to Picasso Moon.
Yeah.
See what you're doing on Saturday.
Okay.
Check your schedule. Maybe that would be a nice.
I have anything going on.
That might be a nice.
I can clear my schedule for you.
De-stress.
Yes.
You know, moment. So
I think you deserve it.
I'd love to have that.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank goodness you had all your knitting so you could at least de-stress a little bit.
Do you know?
You took every piece of knitting
I did. And I don't know if everybody does this. I don't know what I was thinking. I took every project I own with me, plus extra yarn in case I finished them all.
Right. Well,
I did.
You know,
what was I thinking?
Really, you don't know what you're going to be in the mood for.
I guess
that's what
true.
I feel. You know, it's like, well, something small and mindless if I just need to de-stress, or something complicated if I feel ambitious.
Right.
You know, so you just don't know what you're going to be in the mood for.
Yeah. I just thought I was going to finish so much. And I mean, I worked my little tush off, but I didn't finish as much as I wanted to.
Well, you have a lot to show today.
I got a couple of things.
Yeah.
What?
That really turned out pretty.
Yeah, this is the Jingly Dowel, you guys.
Really pretty.
Let's see.
The finishing on it is so nice.
Now, I'm going to look at this. This is a new ball of yarn, and this is the old ball of yarn. Had I been probably a more experienced knitter, I would have seen and I would have attached this on this last stripe. Because it's not that different from these, and it would have been okay. But you kind of see the difference. Kind of, a lot.
No.
But yeah.
I mean, it just looks like a different stripe. It doesn't...
Yes.
I wouldn't have noticed that. I looked at it.
Well, no, I don't think anybody, you know, maybe if I entered it into a contest, somebody might say something, but it wasn't, I didn't.
Them to.
But, you know, I was just knitting along, and by the time I realized, whoa, it's a completely different color, I was like, eh.
So pretty, though.
Do you know what?
Look how tan you are.
Super pleased.
Where are you so tan? Was that from your vacation?
It might be. We were outside quite a bit, you know, because you couldn't go into the trailer.
Next to you.
We couldn't go into the trailer because it was too hot. Melting with fans.
Drinking. Were you drinking?
We did do a lot of drinking. So. And I think Jason's brother Patrick says to me at one point, he's like, you know, there might be an Amish place down there. You can go knit with them or something. I'm like, oh.
That's rude.
Did you think
He's a guest.
Oh, gosh. It was funny. It was funny. I was like, yeah, you know what? If the apocalypse comes and I have to knit socks and shirts for you guys, you're not getting any.
That's right.
Smarty
there
pants.
You go. You'd be walking around barefoot and shirtless.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
If the apocalypse happens, I guess all your clothes just...
you know, well, I'm thinking like 10 or 20 years into the apocalypse. Maybe I'll be too old to knit. Anyway.
Hey, I forgot to tell you that, did you look at the CraftyBeesFlorida email account? We got an email the other day from Anna Bathen, I think her name is. Okay. The one who won our contest. She got our yarn finally.
Did she? Oh,
it took
wonderful.
about 2 weeks to get to her.
Well, she was
Australia.
in Australia.
Yeah.
Did she like it?
She did.
I assume she hasn't had any of that particular brand, the Expression Fiber
I don't
Art.
think so. She really liked it. She said, oh, it's so soft. I'll let you know what I decide to make.
I'd love it if she shared what she makes.
I know. I told her to make sure to do that.
Awesome.
Yeah, that made me happy.
I'm glad she got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this was my finished object. This is the Dingley Dowel.
Very pretty.
Let's see, who's the designer?
Isabel Kramer.
Is it Isabel Kramer?
Yes.
Did I write down all of the... I did use, I used a 3. I think the pattern called for a US 4 needle, but I used a 3 because I always go down because I knit very, very loosely.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't...
This is that earth
This
yarn,
is
right?
earth cotton yarn. It's monochrome cotton. It feels really nice. It's good and cool. I can wear it, you know, outside now, and it's nice and cool. It's not you know, a hard heat keeping wool. So it's a lovely summer yarn. I kind of stayed with the pattern, except for I did just add a little shaping here at the waist. I did a little bit of that, and I stopped sooner on this dip here, okay, because I wanted to bind off for the arms, under the arms, because if you look at the pattern, she stops this right at the change from one stripe color to another.
Well, that would be
well, it
showy.
looks beautiful. It looks beautiful,
Yeah.
but I think even with me going down a needle size, still just my garments just end up being a little bit bigger. So I was trying to be a little bit more thoughtful and check my gauge as I was going. And so I did notice my gauge was even a little bit bigger going down a needle size. So that's why I decided to stop early. I know where I wanted my armpits to be. And so I bound off there at the same time.
Look how much you learned.
You know, I think that's what we do. Each time we create something new, you know, we learn something, and
That's
my
true.
problem is I'm impatient. I want to cast on, and I want to, you know, so I need to learn to be patient, take your time, make sure you're doing what you want to do, check your gauge as you go so you can adjust your knitting a little bit so that you have a garment that fits.
Right.
You know?
I find it fascinating that, you know, you've been knitting a lot longer than I have, but, you know, as I've gone on this journey, it's like I learned something from every pattern I work on. And I was at my book club last night, and my friend Fran, who wanted me to teach her how to knit, she came over one day and it was not successful, and I'm sure it had a lot to do with the teacher. I don't know how to teach somebody to knit. But she hasn't really picked it up again, and I showed her my finished object, which I'll show here in a second, my night shift shawl. Finally
can't wait
finished.
to see it.
It's finally finished. And she said, oh, well, I could never do anything that complicated. It would be a very long time. And I said, you know, you would be surprised. It does not take that long to get more and more proficient. Once you're practicing with everything you make, your skills build on each other, you know?
Yep, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Even if something's not a success, You learned something.
That's
it's
right.
Okay.
Exactly. And I've had a few of those, I'll tell you. Well,
I think we all have. Let's see.
Finally.
I'm excited to see it.
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful. Do you want me to hold one end?
Well,
No, you got it.
Pretty much
You got
have
it.
here.
Oh,
I'm just
that's
gonna hold it behind
beautiful.
you. Yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about it because I've kind of talked about it ad nauseum for a couple months now.
Oh gosh, but that turned out so nice.
It really did. I'm really happy with it.
Oh, it feels good too.
Yeah, it's a nice yarn.
Yeah.
In fact, I can't wait to go to Rhinebeck, and I hope that fiber optic woman is there.
Oh, I'm sure.
She had a big shop, right?
She had a huge shop. Yeah.
I want to buy some more of her gradient yarn. I just love the way that turned out.
So tell us again now. I know you've said it before. So which one's the gradient? So you had a gradient or
it's
two gradients? Okay.
I'll show you the rest of what I have here.
And so it's fiber optic yarns is the name of the yarn, right? And is this a sport weight or fingering?
It's fingering.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it's two different gradients. And, you know, the Night Shift Shawl by Andrea Mowry, you're supposed to use either 5 or 6 different spin cycle yarns. And these yarns enable you to just use 2 because of the gradient. And you just, instead of doing 10 different sections and switching colors around like the original pattern, you just do section 1 over and over again, and every time you start it over, you switch which yarn is A and which yarn is B.
Oh,
so you know, you're switching skeins, and you're also, you know, it's switching on its own because it's a gradient,
right?
You know. So that's
just genius.
I know. And that's what makes this happen. So it was so easy.
So that's just those 2 skeins, and you're just flip-flopping. Who's the main yarn?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
I know.
That's really neat.
Isn't that cool?
That is, I mean, it's just stunning. I love it. I love it. As a matter of fact, when we go to Rhinebeck, I might go and get those colors. Because that Chesapeake Bay, correct me if I'm wrong, but this one with the blue and the burnt orange, that's the Chesapeake Bay colorway,
is. And
right?
the other one is, so it's Chesapeake Bay and Celestial.
Celestial.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're beautiful together. I just love those.
I know. I'm so happy with the way it turned out.
Oh, and those colors are beautiful on you. They just go perfect with your complexion and your hair.
I love it. This is a great pattern. And you guys, it's so easy. You know, it looks complicated, but it's so easy. It's just knit stitches and slip stitches over and over and over again. So the smaller ones, you know, you can see each section has like 6 rows of the smaller. That's just one knit and one slip stitch, and then the bigger one is two slip stitches and 2 knit stitches, and it just, so it's so easy. It's a really effortless project, and
you know, the colors are great. And correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you say last time that what's the name of the yarn again? It just escaped my mind.
Fiber optics.
Fiber optics. You could get a full skein and then a half skein.
That's what, and this is 2 full skeins and 2 half skeins.
Okay. But you could get, so you don't have to buy like 3 full skeins and then have a half skein left over. Oh, okay. Exactly. Piece of hair in my mouth. Yeah. Oh, that's a huge thing to me when yarn dyers kind of take that into consideration, because, you know, for them to do this is probably a huge amount of time to make a gradient, so it's probably a little bit more expensive. I know the spin cycle is, so to have another option that's maybe a little bit more budget friendly, or, you know, that you could go for a lower skein amount for your project.
For sure. Yeah. Well, I'm really happy with it. I may end up wearing this to Rhinebeck if I don't.
I would if I was
tessellated.
Well, I would wear them both. I would be. Well, you gotta wear.
My
you gotta wear your
vest might
unbearable
only
hoodie.
go to. Yeah, I know. Well,
well, if your vest
we'll
only
see.
goes to here, maybe wear something under it.
It's bottom up. It's bottom up. So if it was top down, that would
right.
be
You could
easier
be
to
like.
do.
That's funny.
Wear it as a belt.
There you go, girl. All right.
What else have you got over
I
there?
have got
You have a
another
lot.
finished project right here. Finally, this one is off the needles.
Ooh.
Look how humongous this ended up being.
my
This is the
gosh.
twists and turns. Okay? Look,
So
it's
big.
absolutely huge. I bound off early. It's absolutely
It's beautiful though.
It's okay. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I hate everything about this shawl. I hate it all.
Oh, dear.
I hate my color choices. I hate the pattern. I hate how long it took me to knit it. I hate it all.
Yeah.
And so
It's a lot.
I'm happy
It's-
that I have it done.
Yeah.
I love the yarns individually. I don't think I would put these together again. Even though, I mean, you can't really see, you guys, but the pink it's kind of a little speckled. It has the green, which is juniper. The yarn is from a chick that knits, and it's a beautiful yarn, and it's great to knit with.
Mm-hmm.
But I just would not put these together again. And I don't know if it's that I wouldn't put them together again because all of these stripes are making me crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like stripes and chevrons and
this, yeah, and you know, it's kind of disappointing because this,
you can't see.
can't
I spent
really see.
so much
Yeah.
time doing
this tape
this.
took forever, didn't it? With
Yes.
these little
Yeah.
cables.
And these little stripes here, again,
Yeah.
forever to do them. And I was like, who created this? This is terrible. This is terrible. So it's not, I mean, it's lovely.
It is beautiful.
I could wear it in a pinch. I'm sure it's quite warm, but it is it's not my cup of tea, any of it. And if I learned anything from Stephen West's Knit Along last year, if you don't like it, put it down. And if you're not crazy about the final project, frog it and use that yarn for something else that you're going to love. This I can't even tell you how many hours are in this. It has to be well over 20, 40. I don't know.
Oh my God, 100.
Yeah. I mean,
I can't even, I wish I had kept track of how many hours I spent on mine.
I
It
wish
was
I
just
would
an
have too.
agony.
Every stitch was an agony to me, and I
wonder if he hates to hear that. I wonder if anybody's told him that. I love Stephen West.
I do too, and
But
I
this
usually
one-
love his stuff a lot. This one
was a
did
tough
it,
one.
and I wanted to get it done because I was like, oh, the next one's coming up in October, and I'm like,
I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it.
It did it for me.
Yeah.
Which isn't to say
need
that I
a
won't do
break.
another one,
Right.
but you know, and maybe if I really like the one that he's doing this year, maybe I'll do it later. But
Yeah, there you go. Once you
still
see
have-
what it looks like.
Yeah. I'm just not gonna. I'm not gonna do any. I'm not gonna do this year's.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that, and maybe I shouldn't have tried to finish that one before this one came out. I don't know.
Well, and I'll be honest. What the hell is it with me making all these shawls? When was the last time you saw me wear a shawl?
I know.
I'm doing all these shawls that are half killing me. The pop rocks and now this night shift. They're beautiful, but you know, when you're doing one that starts small and then, you know, you increase a stitch every other row, by the time you're finished, you're like, is this ever gonna end?
Right.
It's torture. I don't even wear shawls. I'm gonna have to start wearing shawls.
And
definitely.
you know, I think really for you to say that is something, because you're a process knitter. You just enjoy the process.
I
You
do.
just like to knit those stitches.
To a certain point.
Yeah.
I mean, after a while.
That's what I mean. That, you know, when you're a process knitter, really you should love it through the whole thing. And you're getting a little
if the
frustrated.
process never ends, you know, I mean, you do want a finished product at some point.
Yeah,
and I have them.
That's true.
I have them
Well, see, that's why I knit those little socks, because I do get that satisfaction, and then I'm less inclined to get frustrated with the other pieces that I'm working on.
Right.
You know, you've got to give yourself a little something, even if you did a dishcloth or something lovely like that.
Yeah, and I did talk about wanting to do that,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
You didn't do any of those?
I didn't do any of them. I was so interested in getting that night shift finished and then starting to work on my Unbearable to try to get that done that, no, I didn't. I had so many high hopes for doing some crocheted granny square type things and some dishcloths or washcloths, and then making some soap with my beeswax. I haven't done any of that.
Oops.
I know.
Maybe next time.
Next time. Stay tuned.
I know. What else do you have?
That's my only finished object. Do you have something else?
I do not have another finished object.
Wait, what about your sock?
But it's just one sock. It's not a pair of socks. I can show my sock.
Yeah.
All right.
So one of them's
finished.
So you can compare.
I can compare, because anybody who tuned in last time knows that I did a sock, and I do my socks on US1 Magic Loop, but these are Charlotte Stone's. They're colorwork socks, and I found that doing the colorwork, because there's a bit of a long float in the back, and it actually goes around the corner where you would, you know, change sides of your sock when you're doing Magic Loop. And so I found even though I was cognizant of the fact that it was a corner and I had to make sure my float didn't go in and cut that corner, I still got a little pucker, and I'll show you what I mean. If you look here, you can kind of see that pucker right there. That's where my Magic Loop was. And you can see it on both sides. I got a little pucker. I mean, other than that, it looks really cute.
It's adorable.
So I bought the ChowGoo small 9-inch needles, and it's a set. Did you get one?
I didn't get them. I loved yours so much I had to buy myself a set.
They're so adorable.
I love them.
They're so adorable. So
I wonder if I'll ever use them.
They're like size 0, 1, 2, and 3, right? I don't think it even has a size 4 in there. And so there's 9-inch circular, or I think they have a 10-inch. Anyway, so I did my next sock, and I used the 9-inch circular just on the color, and so I've got no puckering whatsoever.
Wow. Yeah.
And so I'm like,
it made a big difference.
It made a huge difference. I absolutely, you know, you do have to get used to using, they're the tiniest little needles on the tiniest little 9-inch cord. And so I found that I had to tell myself, I was like tensing up doing it, and I was like, okay, relax, you know. And you know, it was beautiful. It worked perfectly, and I could not be happier. Now, don't judge the orange and the black are actually, what's that called when you knit over the stitches to do the color work? Oh, that right in my head. Anyway, you're supposed to go through the legs of the stitch, and so it kind of looks like a knit stitch in a different color. So you're stitching over your primary color with the new color.
Oh, I don't know why I can't remember what that's
It's going to come to us in a minute.
Or the middle of the night.
Probably the middle of the night, yes. And so I was in Tennessee. I didn't have a good internet connection, and I duplicate stitch.
Duplicate stitch.
I couldn't see a video on how to duplicate stitch. I've done it once before, and you know, I had a video and I followed it. I couldn't remember. I ended up doing it kind of cross stitchy. So my poor flamingo looks like he's got X, like he's dead or something in there, but for his eyes.
You can't tell.
You can't really tell, and nobody's going to be looking at my ankles that much.
That's
so.
right. No, you can't. Oh yeah, I see that.
Yeah, he's kind of
it looks cute.
a dead little flamingo. And the next one, I'll look up my thing. So I'm not going to use the first sock because it was kind of a practice because I had never done color work on a small scale like this.
The toe is so cute. Oh, I'm looking at this one.
Yes,
that's so cute.
Yeah, by the time I finished this one, I knew I wasn't going to. See, it's got little.
Look at that.
And
so
because
cute.
that was like every other stitch was a different color, I didn't even change to the small circulars on the toe because it's such a tight pattern. But with the flamingos, it floated all across this blue section here. And
really cute.
yeah, the designer.
So you bought the whole book?
I did buy the whole book. And the designer did say, don't catch your floats on socks because you need that elasticity. And she said, it's only an inch. It's a lot more stitches than like in a sweater.
Right.
But she says, it's only an inch. Do not catch those floats. So I didn't. And it fits beautifully. I'm happy with them.
Good.
So, yeah.
Good. Speaking of catching floats. Oh,
Yes.
wow. Okay. So I have a little more done. I'm sad that I don't have more to show for it than, 3 weeks ago. But I have finished on the unbearable. I've finished the fuzzy part on the bears.
Oh,
which I'm
good.
so happy about because I was so sick of that fuzziness.
Oh, that is
And
so cute.
I've started on the flowers down here, but
Look at those
Float
floats.
City.
Yeah.
Yep. Lots of floats. Lots of floats all the way around. So, yeah, but I'm kind of on a roll now. I was hoping I'd have enough done so, I really want to get the flowers done.
Isn't it exciting when you do something new?
Yeah.
And you just want to get to the next section there?
Yes, on color work. I'm not very experienced with color work, but here's the pattern so you can see under the bears these flowers. That's what I'm starting to work on. So this is the Unbearable Hoodie by Maxim Cyr of Les Garçons. So yeah, so hopefully I can get a lot done. There's only a month till Rhinebeck.
I know. That's when we talked about it the other day. I was like, holy cow. I don't know where the time went.
I don't either.
So.
I don't either, but.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
All right. What else do you have?
I did start, I don't have a lot to show, but I started on the Rhinebeck vest, the tessellated vest by Andrea Mowry, Drea Renee Knits. So I can show you what I've...
Is that similar construction to your shawl?
It is. It is similar. It's, again, not difficult, just a lot of knit stitches and slip stitches. Yeah, so... Yeah, I don't, so this is using 3 different colors. This is Spin Cycle. Sorry.
Look.
Yeah.
Let's see. Spin Cycle, Moondrake, Spin Cycle, Midnight. This one's Midnight.
This is Midnight.
So I guess that one's Midnight.
Yeah, this is Midnight. Here's the Spin Cycle.
Oh, that's Moonspun.
Yes.
This one is
from
Moonspun.
Moondrake. Yeah, that's the dark blue. And then the Spin Cycle, what does that say?
Wait. Shades of Earth.
Yeah.
So
that's the spin cycle that I chose.
Shades of Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then this is from Primrose Yarns.
Ooh.
This is
that's nice.
Yeah, this is called Kriya Cloud. It's Surrey alpaca in the color Sedona. So I figured that would go well with this.
Yeah. Oh, and I love it and this is a dark blue, right?
Yeah, it is a dark navy. And when I was looking at the spin cycle, you know, they were out of a lot of the colors. And when I looked at it, it looked like there was a lot of navy online. I'm like, where's the navy? There's a tiny bit of navy that's mixed in with this blue, but I guess it'll look okay.
Well, I mean, what you've knitted so far looks beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, and it'll be fun to see the color changes happen.
Yeah. So you've just got into the colors then, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's bottom up. So this is like
that's beautiful.
284 stitches you have to cast on.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
It's a lot. No, I was wondering if I'd made myself a big mistake, but it's
gonna be fun to get that done, and it's gonna be really neat when you see your color changes and everything. I think don't we do that as knitters? Like, oh, I'm gonna knit to the next color. I'm gonna knit to the next color, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm gonna knit and see my flowers bloom. You know?
Exactly.
I think it's really neat when you see stuff like that. So
I'm looking forward to keeping going with both of those projects.
Yeah. So, you know, you've got those good things going on. And
what do you have going on?
Mine is not color changing at all, but I have to say, so this is the Celtic Myths shawl, and I'll have to look up who it's by. And this is cotton Baracco, the Baracco cotton. Here, you want to hold that one? Because I can just hold this down. It's curling up a little bit there. And so this is, I mean, it's cotton. It's beautiful. The stitch definition on this, I don't know if you can kind of see it. I mean, the stitches are just, they look so pretty.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about this, even though right now it's just stockinette. Now, it's not going to remain stockinette. It's going to have that beautiful Celtic knot border.
That's going to be beautiful.
And I'm just going to look it up here. So I use the app Yarn Buddy. I don't know if you guys use apps or if you're traditional and
your hair on your,
I do.
You know,
I've got hair everywhere.
Well, you know what? It's because you're in this house with all these cats, and I have a golden retriever.
I think that's my hair.
Oh, are you sure?
Not 100%.
Constantly pulling hairs out of my mouth and my eyes.
Yeah, I named it Sin Shawl. Sin. And so, let's see. It's a Celtic Myths shawl by Asita Krabs. And let me see if I can find where she's got a picture just of the shawl. So that's what it'll end up looking like. So it'll just have that knot, the Celtic knot at the bottom. So
that's just going to be gorgeous in that yarn.
Yeah, that's why I was excited about that stitch definition. Right. Because that knot is going to come out and just make that whole shawl pop. You know, it's just going to be, it's going to be beautiful. So, and the yarn, I'm not going to lie to you, it's wonderful to work with. Is it? Yeah. It's just slides around my needles. Too. Yeah, it was affordable, and it's lovely to work with, and I'm super excited to get that one done. Good. So that'll be fun.
Good.
Do you have another one? Work in progress?
No, I don't have any more works in progress. No, I do not.
Well, I haven't cast on for this one, but I did swatch. So this is the Easy V sweater. Let me see who did that one. Who's the designer of this one? Here it is. Oh, Caitlin Hunter. So it's an Easy V sweater by Caitlin Hunter. And I'll show you guys a picture of what's on Ravelry there. So that's my next cast on, and so
those colors.
These are the colors that I've chosen. So I swatched it out because I know I showed last time. So I'm doing it a little differently, where I think they have, you know, different skeins for each one. But I got minis. All of these colors are minis. So I have like 8 minis or 10 minis, something like that. 6, 9, probably 10 or 12. And they're all kind of in this color fade. And so when it really helped swatching it, because I could see which colors. The way I'm going to do it is like these 3 colors are number 1, meaning that they're my darker colors. These 3 are number 2, which are medium, and then 3 minis, which would be the light color, number 3, the light ones. So swatching it helped me figure out which ones I was like, oh, that doesn't really go. I like these 3 together or whatever. But so everything's going to be a little bit, it's going to be a little bit different, but I think I'm loving the colors in it. I think these oranges and reds play so well against this brown.
Reminds me of? It reminds me of, remember when we did that yarn dyeing class?
Yes, look, I could have used yours. It looks just like it.
Isn't that funny?
That is funny. I love it. You should make socks out of that. I made socks out of mine.
Did you? Mm-hmm. Out of the bulk. This is the bulky one, I think.
Yes, ma'am.
There's enough yardage to do that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you don't need that much because, I mean, it makes your sock works up really quick. And, you know, my feet get cold in the wintertime. So to have a nice pair of socks to pull on in the winter, I think
that is going to be fabulous.
So I'm going to cast this one on next. So the colors are Emma's yarn in her worsted weight, and the brown is Expression Fiber Art, and that is the pearlescent fingering, and it's in brocade. That's the colorway.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm excited about doing more color work now.
Yeah,
I've never done it before.
And you start seeing it come together, it's really exciting. Each color's exciting.
It is. Yeah.
So what, do you got more knitting?
I don't have more knitting.
Do you care if I just talk about this other knit along?
I do not care one iota.
Guys. So I am, you know, like cursing Stephen West as I'm finishing the twists and turns. Like,
not really, Stephen West.
No,
we
not
love
really,
you.
And so I'm like just kind of poking along and looking at some of the forums on Ravelry. And I have on my wish list to do a lace weight yarn shawl. And I want it to be lace. And I want it to be beaded. And I had some glow-in-the-dark beads. I didn't have any black yarn that I could do this with. So I'm like, it's just kind of like this dream in the back of my head. This is what I want to do. A lace shawl with glow-in-the-dark beads. And so I'm poking through, and I've got some patterns in my favorites, and some are by this designer called Boo Knits. And I saw she's doing a Practical Magic mystery knit along, and hers is a lace weight shawl with beads, and
hey.
I had some of her patterns were in my favorites that I was considering for this, so I was like, I'm gonna do it. And you know, Gayle, I'm a total movie buff. They get me by movies. That's how I ended up doing the Ghostbusters knit along, because I was like, Ghostbusters, yes please. Practical Magic happens to be a favorite movie of mine, so definitely I will be doing that.
Fun.
I love Halloween, and I know we showed this before when we got the silk yarn from Expression Fiber Arts, because she doesn't have that very often. It's just a lovely 100% silk yarn. Hers is fingering. This make along, they have a lace weight, but I'm going to use the fingering. And for some reason, Yeah.
shawl.
And usually I always get light colors, but I got the colors, and they're like a fairy, what are they called? Fairy tale hues. And so these are the 4 colors that I'm going to use for this.
Oh my gosh, it's so moody.
It's going to go like this.
Love it.
So these are the 4 colors I'm going to use to do this. And
so good.
You know, I got some glow in the dark beads. So I'm excited. I'm not going to worry about trying to finish the mystery knit along, you know, with every clue. That's not.
Now this is 100% silk?
Yes, 100% silk. So,
that is beautiful. Oh yeah, that's going to be gorgeous. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it does open up quite well because it'll be lace weight. So when you know, it'll have to open and block to show the lace work. Mm-hmm. So, I'm thinking that it will.
Yeah, fingering isn't that different from lace weight. It'll just be bigger.
The lace weight is 100% silk. I think I'm thinking more of the fiber that the silk should open up and show the lace work. So I'm not going to stress about getting it done on time, but I'm excited about doing that. And I was super excited that I had that yarn in my stash.
Yes.
You know, and I bought it and I had no idea what I was going to use it for, but you know, sometimes when you just love something, you're like, gotta do it.
That's right. And then the perfect project comes along.
Came along. Yes, my friend.
Yeah, I love when that happens.
I know, right?
I have some yarn acquisitions.
Oh, let's transition to acquisitions. First, you've got
transition to acquisitions.
I know. That's. Oh, we're gonna have to have a cheer. Transition to acquisition.
So
let's hear.
Speaking of Keith, the yarn snob.
Oh,
that's the guy that we took the yarn dyeing class from last summer.
That's right. Oh, show your skein that you dyed again. So we took this yarn dyeing class with Keith. Do you know his last name?
You know, I don't remember.
He is the Yarn Snob is the name of his line of yarns. And he did a color work class, and it was via Zoom. And we actually got together 2 or 3 times. And you could see everybody on this meeting as he's saying, this is how he showed us different techniques. So much fun. If you guys want to try it.
This is one of the ones I dyed.
Yeah,
he just showed so many different techniques.
And he sends you everything. For the price of the class, you get the yarn, you get the dyes, and then
candies.
You spend.
He always sends candies. He sent me candies.
Oh, did he?
Too. Yeah.
So the whole weekend, you know, you get to do this, and it was so much fun.
It was so much fun. So he has a whole series based on orchids. I guess he loves to grow orchids. And so I could not resist this one.
Wow. That's neat.
The color is Keith's Orchid Bellina.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that gorgeous? It's 100% superwash merino, 400 meters. And it's so beautiful. And on his website, he says that this is workable for assigned pooling. So I think that would be really gorgeous.
Oh, you have a lot of assigned pooling projects to do.
I do. And I haven't started a single one.
Now
what is wrong with me?
Those colors are quite bright for you.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah.
Not normally what I would
I'm
put.
proud of you. You got right out of that your comfort zone.
I did.
Next time when I have to get something muted, you'll have to say, I'm proud of you.
I know.
Something.
Well, those are muted. Those ones you just showed.
The dark ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
moody and muted.
They are moody.
They are.
I love those,
them.
That's beautiful.
Yes. So, and Keith is right here in Lakewood Ranch. So his website, you guys should look him up because he has beautiful, beautiful stuff, and he is local to us, right in the Sarasota-Bradenton area. The website is yarnsnobyarns.com. So take a look at his stuff because it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It is just beautiful. Oh, and he also sent a little,
what is that?
it's
a measuring tape?
a measuring tape. Yeah, I haven't even opened it yet. He sent some little candies and a
Oh, that's cute.
little measuring tape. I know. A little value added.
Well, you know, and I like it
That's
when you get
fun.
stuff like that because I keep my stuff, like each project bag, I have some of those little notions in.
Right.
And some stuff I just don't have as much of, like the little measuring tape. So when you get something like that, it's
nice.
it's silly,
It's
it's
thoughtful.
simple, but it's so appreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
It is.
I love it.
So,
What do I have? Let me
what else
see.
do you have down there?
I've got one more thing to show here. So this was
Ooh.
Emma's Yarn Club, and this is the September colorway. So that blue is September's. And then they gave me a little mini with it that I had ordered. And the mini, the green, is one of their regular colorways. And that's called Legal Tender. So these are super cute. I'm going to use them to knit up some socks. They're in their sock base.
Their yarn is beautiful.
Yeah, she does a lovely job.
Mm-hmm.
What else do you have?
Well, you know, you stopped at my mailbox on your way in. I asked Christina if she would stop at the mailbox because I already had my makeup and my hair done, and I have a very long driveway, and it's 92 degrees today. My phone said it feels like 100, and I was like, if I walk out to that mailbox to get my mail, I knew there was some squishy mail in there, but if I walk out there, I'm gonna be ruined.
Yeah, you'll
for a
be
pot-
sweaty.
yeah. So,
Oh, let's open it.
yes, we're gonna open it together because it just came. Got some scissors over here.
Look at you, prepared.
When I saw
And who
this,
is this yarn from?
This comes from Expression Fiber Arts.
Okay.
And this was her August club. Did you happen to see that by chance?
I did not.
Well,
I've been not
No.
paying attention because sometimes I can't resist, and
I know.
I'm like, I can't.
And I
do
couldn't
it.
resist. And you know what? I
What?
was going to give you this for your birthday. But I was like, but that's like
Sorry.
3 months away.
I know.
And I just, okay, so open it up. Happy early birthday.
Is it for my birthday? Oh, I thought you were going to keep it.
No, I bought one for each of us.
Oh my God.
I bought one
Thank
for
you.
each of us. See,
Moon
it's Moon Gleam Fingering, which is 50% cotton and 50% mulberry silk. And when you open it, you'll understand why I had to do this.
Let's see.
I mean, look at the colors.
Oh, those are beautiful.
Look. They're so
Oh my
gorgeous. Look what it came with. I mean, come on.
No.
How was I supposed to resist? And how was I supposed to not get you one, too?
Oh my God.
I mean, come
Thank
on.
you so much. That is so adorable.
And look what else.
buttons.
Buttons.
Look at this, you guys. Look at all of the colors in there. Look at the shine. Oh, that feels lovely.
I've never gotten one of her kits that had buttons with it. Look at these buttons.
Are they all different?
They're all different.
Oh, I can't wait to make something with this. Oh my God.
Buttons. Oh, they're not all different. I just saw
Okay.
a couple of duplicates. But,
Those are super cute.
right? Oh, look, this has
Little parrots on
parrots
them.
on it. Oh, whoopsie.
There it goes.
There
Got it? Well, that's beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Do you know,
I
it's-
just couldn't resist
It's
it.
so funny that you said that. See, I've got a little bite on the back of my head. I want to scratch.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, it's so funny that you said that because I saw something and I was like, I've got to make that for Gayle. And then I thought, hey, I wonder if she would be open to, instead of buying birthday presents for each other or Christmas presents, we could make something for one another. Could be something, not something big, not like a sweater or something like that, but just something that you could use around the house or display or, you know, something.
I love that.
And it doesn't
idea.
matter. It doesn't have to be knitted. It doesn't have to be crocheted. It could be soap or Candles are perfect. Yes. What do you think about that idea?
I think it's a great idea.
Although, now I've got this. I kind of got ahead of the game. You're going to get some.
I'm going to get it right back. I'll make something for you. You make something for me.
I don't think I'll use this to make something for somebody else. I love these colors. I think you've got such a gift for choosing colors. You know? Such a gift. I think really I have to have you pick all my yarn from now on.
What happened to was there another bag somewhere? Oh, this bag.
Oh, yeah. Did I use yours and you used mine?
Yeah, I don't.
What did I think? Are they the same?
Idea.
They're the same.
Yeah, they're the
so,
same.
Okay. This, I've got my buttons.
Oh, yeah.
You got your buttons. Okay.
And
Thank you.
Isn't
Thank
this
you.
just
Oh my
the
God, that
cutest
is
thing?
so cute.
Look at that bag. I just loved it.
It's so adorable. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Oh, gosh. That's so
I
exciting.
couldn't
That is
resist.
adorable. I love that bag. Yeah. Well,
There you go. So thanks for getting my mail.
well, thank you. Anytime. So, you guys know I did a little experiment on some sun dyeing.
Oh, yeah.
My-
I've been waiting to see this.
Yeah, my goal was to do this and kind of try and use more things around the house. I mean, I know everybody knows you can use onion skins and avocado pits and stuff. So I kind of went a little bit in a different direction, and I juiced turmeric and beets and carrots, and I used some coffee and grass. Those were the 5 things, and I put them in little jars, individual jars, and left them in the sun for like a month. I shook them up as I went. And so I'm going to show you the results. So first off, I don't have any grass because grass did not do anything. Okay.
It's very disappointing.
Do you know, I chose grass because I thought, you know, when you were kids and you'd run and you know,
stains.
you'd get grass stains on your knees. I thought, oh, it's probably going to work. No, it doesn't work at all.
I guess you gotta rub the grass into your yard.
Yes, into your fiber. So that
it's
didn't
friction.
work.
The friction has to come into play with grass.
Yeah, so there was no difference. I actually just rinsed that skein out, hung it out to dry, and I'll use that for something else. This one was quite disappointing as well. This is the carrots.
Really?
So, yeah. So really not anything at all.
Just a little creamy.
It's a little
like
creamy.
Pure white.
Yeah, and so you can see it's got a little bit of coloring around there, but the carrots didn't do much at all. So
now, turmeric.
Oh, the turmeric. Look at this.
Oh, wow.
Look at this. This is
That's beautiful.
the turmeric. It came out absolutely beautiful.
Really
I
did.
really couldn't be happier with this golden
Yeah.
color.
That's
That
very
looks
pretty.
great. I'm looking for my coffee swatch. I don't know where it is. Anyway. I know, right? Where did it go? The kitten might have taken it out of there.
Oh.
I don't know.
It's not in there.
I'm blaming everything on the kitten.
Darn.
And so this is the beets, which turned out a nice pink. It looked really dark until I rinsed and washed it. And then it kind of came out this nice light color.
It's pretty though, because it's not a, it's like almost a rose gold. It's not a pure pink. It's like a rosy goldy.
I don't know what I did with my coffee swatch, but this is the ball, how that ended up with the coffee. So you can,
Interesting.
I did not use, so what I used was used coffee grounds and just water. And so after having seen these results, so it's very creamy, a couple of dark spots. So what I thought was maybe coffee and not used grounds, but regular grounds. So use coffee as the water agent.
Yeah. Or
So,
if you're going to use grounds, do it like you would do it with cold brew.
Here's my coffee. It fell right on the floor.
Oh.
So this is the coffee swatch.
Oh, that's interesting how variegated it is.
Right. Like what if it was laying against the coffee grounds and not, even though I shook it.
Interesting.
So yeah. So, I mean, I'm not disappointed with this. It kind of looks neat.
Yeah, I like it.
And all of the colors are rather muted. I keep knocking them on the floor. All of them are rather muted. So, I don't know where my beet went.
I just saw it.
These colors are kicking my butt.
Oh, it's under your foot.
Oh, there. Oh, there it is. Come back. Yeah, they're all muted, so they're actually quite beautiful.
They really are.
You know, and I'm not
And all
disappointed.
natural.
Probably I'm not happy with the carrots. So, I think next time, I wanted something green. I really did want a green. And so I watched some stuff and they said to take spinach and boil spinach and then you basically use the boiled water.
Yeah, I was just going to say, what if you cooked carrots, like if you grated them and then cooked them? Because, you know, when you boil carrots, the water comes out kind of orange.
Yeah, that might work for an orange. Another idea for green was black-eyed Susans. I collected some while I was in Tennessee, but they quite wilted on the way home, so dried. They're not, which I'm like, hey, if you want to dry some flowers, apparently put them in a bed of a truck that's like 1 billion degrees, and there you go, get them dried out. So I don't think I'll use those.
Dry out anything.
Yeah, and I think I'll try maybe berries, some blueberries and blackberries, and see if I can get a blue or a purple color.
Yeah, and blackberries. So pretty with that reddish, bluish.
Yeah.
Oh, that's purple, right? Sorry. Yeah.
red,
reddish,
blue,
that reddish,
purple. We're back to
reddish, bluish.
We're back to elementary school color art class.
Oh my God! I think I'm having a hot flash.
I know. I got hot too all of a sudden. So I don't know if it's us.
It gets hot back in this room.
Yeah. So I was excited. The turmeric and the beets, and I'm not even disappointed with the coffee. Although
these together would be such a beautiful something or other.
Yeah.
They're gorgeous together.
Yeah, and just a nice white with it. I think they're lovely muted colors, and I know I don't usually knit with those, but I like them.
Yeah.
I like
and
them
you got this yarn from Knit Picks?
Knit Picks had a sale, and so they had all these mini skeins. So I mean, they were like $1 or something. I mean, it was ridiculously cheap. So I bought a bunch, and just doing them one at a time. So this is the grass. So you can see. There is no color change in the grass at all. Basically just soaked it for a month. Oh, what else you got over there? Anything?
You know, I do have something. I don't even think I told you about this because I guess I was a little embarrassed that I went so crazy again with Expression Fiber Arts. You know, I have to stop going on her website because
I've stopped. I can't watch her lives because she does those lives on Facebook.
I just can't resist it.
Oh, wow. Oh, what a beautiful gradient. That's perfect for Stephen West Knit-Along.
No, I thought about that. Although this is worsted.
Is it?
This is...
Oh. Yeah. Well,
this is luster worsted, which is 50% superwash merino and 50% lyocell. So
that's beautiful.
It's 1,000 yards altogether.
Look at that.
I
I love all those colors.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Wow.
I know. I
Do you have a project?
Oh,
no,
that's just what I was
you just couldn't resist?
I just couldn't resist it, so I have to stop doing that. I am out of control.
Do you have a project for the Yarn Stomp yarn?
No.
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 Well, you have to look up Dawn Barker. Isn't she the assigned pooling?
Yes.
She did the creator. She does a lot of the patterns with
She
that.
does. She
So
does.
yeah, look up her stuff. Maybe
I
there's
will.
a. Do you know what I really want to knit? Is a little kind of mini cardigan. I find I wear those a lot because you know I do a lot. I like sleeveless, garments.
Right.
Even with work, I like sleeveless. And so I found that if I have a little mini cardigan, short
Like a little
sleeves,
shrug.
it's just something to put it. It
I
makes
like that
it
too.
makes it more professional.
Right.
And so I would love to be able to knit a little shrug. I think that's a perfect thing to say.
Yeah.
Not a cardigan like with buttons. Just
Right.
maybe it even has a little button at the top, but you don't
Yeah.
usually button it. Something like that.
That's a great idea. I
would
wear those.
that. I would wear that all the time.
I have many of them.
And I don't know why I haven't knit any.
I don't know. I've never even thought of knitting one.
I have bought one from JCPenney.
So weird.
I
have
what am I
about-
thinking?
I keep buying them from that Soft Surroundings,
Oh,
I like
okay.
that store.
Yeah.
I must have 4 of them from that. I have at least half a dozen.
All right, girlfriend. There you go. Get started.
Yeah. Oh God, what will I use?
I don't know. You have to shop. We're talking about going shopping this weekend.
I know. I know. Well, we'll just be looking. Who
Yeah.
knows if we'll buy something. Oh, I did find something that I wanted to, I was looking for something for my, what's that? Oh, this. I know you've knitted something from, oh my God, I'm just making a mess over here. You knitted something from Petite Knits, but I've never knitted any of her patterns, but they're so popular. So I found this pattern. This is that yarn that I bought when I was in Spain.
And she saved it for 20
ago?
years
Yeah.
for the perfect
Look
project.
how beautiful though. It's so gorgeous. I feel like it's some hand spun something or other.
It is.
It doesn't have the fiber content on it. I have no idea how many yards it is, although I do have about 5 or 6 skeins, so I think it's
How many
quite
grams
a bit.
is it? Do you know? You gotta weigh it.
I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to weigh it. I bet it's 100 grams.
Yeah,
I
probably
bet
looks
it
like.
is. So, I thought a beautiful yarn like this needs something very plain,
Right, to let the yarn just
Right.
shine.
And I'm not making any more shawls for a while. So I found this no frills sweater by Petite Knit,
Mm-hmm.
which I think would just be perfect.
It is.
Don't
It's
you think?
beautiful. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that-
I'm gonna
Use that for.
use that.
I love
I'm going
it.
to-
Well, you've got 2 sweaters going right now. Maybe you're gonna get one off the needles
Yeah,
before
I
you
will.
cast on
Yes.
the third.
I will.
Not
I will,
not
but I
telling you
wanted
what to do though.
No.
If you can do 3, you're a better
No.
woman than me.
No, I'm not going to do 3, but I'm going to work really hard to try to get those 2 done and move
Yeah,
on.
you're
Move along.
assigned yourself some homework, have you?
I did. And remember last time I was talking about this pattern called Constellate?
Right,
that I
you found it
saw?
on Instagram.
Yes. And she has now released the pattern. It's on Ravelry.
Oh
It's
my
the
gosh.
coolest
Right? What a
thing.
neat hat.
The pattern is so amazing. I don't know if can you see that? There, I just have to put it real close. I just
That's
really
really
covered
neat.
us up.
That's
but
okay.
I just thought it was the coolest thing. So the designer is Hunter Hammerson.
Hunter Hammerson?
I think
Or you're
that's
not
her
sure.
name.
You're looking it up.
I believe
Get your
that's her.
glasses
Yeah, I have
on.
to get my glasses on here. Yes, Hunter Hammerson. She has a business called Tiny Nonsense. I knit tiny nonsense.
I knit tiny nonsense.
Yes,
How
and
adorable.
she says, I love this more than I should probably admit. It's absurdly simple. Knit some ribbing, occasionally reach down through your fabric and pull a couple extra loops of yarn through, but it ends up looking absolutely gorgeous.
Wow, that's really pretty. Is that going to make it to your needles? That's a quick knit. Is it worsted weight?
No, it's fingering weight.
Is it fingering?
But it's just a hat, so
yeah.
I just wanted to mention that this is now on Ravelry,
Right.
so go look it up because it's so cool.
It is beautiful.
Something different. So
I love it.
yeah. What do you have? Do you have anything else?
I don't have anything
Any other
else.
Wishes?
No.
Yeah.
Did you had some more stuff there, huh?
I do. I'm not going to show all of it. I'll save some for next time. But I did also find this. You know, I'm always looking for stuff to use my cheap Red Heart yarn on.
Blankets are perfect for that.
Yeah. And I found this. This is that company Hobie. I thought it was pronounced hobby, but it's Hobie.
Oh, okay.
I heard. Anyways, this blanket is all variegated yarns, just like, all of my Unforgettable. It's called Red Heart Unforgettable. That stuff over there. See it there?
I don't.
Okay, it's all right. Anyways, it's called the Lalaith blanket. And it's crocheted. It's just a bunch of granny squares. So are they just squares? Yeah, it's just granny squares in variegated yarns. And so I want to use up some of my...
I'm just thinking of your other squares with your other blankets.
I know. I know. What is wrong with me? I have so many projects.
Well, you know what? That's what keeps us happy, though. Having so many. And if you're using, that's a worsted weight, right? Now, the other project is fingering.
Yes.
So it's really so much, I'm not going to say so much more work with fingering, but it is a bit more. Sometimes it's just nice to have something on that's a worsted weight, and you can whip up a square in an hour, and you're like, done.
Right.
And you feel really good about it. I'm a little jealous sometimes when I see other people showing like hats and things like that, because you know there's all worsted weight or bulky weight.
Yes.
It's quite.
I know. Yeah. And as I'm slogging through yet another shawl.
Right.
That I'll never wear.
And you do have to have something fast, something to give you that sense of satisfaction that you're done. So that's perfect.
Dying for that. So.
Perfect. Get some squares going.
I will.
And I mean, you know, blankets are one of those things where, I mean, even like the one that I'm working on with the honeycombs, you know what? I expect that to take a year or more. I don't really expect that it's like a dying desire for me to knit that every day.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of other
I would love
stuff.
to see the progress of that, though. You'll have to.
Well, there's not much.
No?
So yeah. So if I get, you know, once I get to a few inches, I'll bring it back, and then, you know, a few feet and bring it back. But I think that'll do.
Okay.
Oh, are we transitioning to bees?
I think we should.
Okay. What do you got? I haven't been in mine.
I haven't been in mine either. I was in them the week before the hurricane. And I don't remember if we did a podcast at that time. We
didn't, because you hadn't been in yours since you harvested.
Okay. So I went in them, and I was particularly interested in one of the hives that was a newer one, but that every night has thousands of bees bearded on the outside. I know it's hot, but I just felt like that hive, I was afraid it was going to split. There are so many bees in it. So I had added a box to try to give them more room. But then the week before the hurricane, I went out, I did an inspection on all my hives. Did I tell you I got stung right in the groin?
No.
Yes.
How did they do that?
Did that hurt? Well, you know, when it's this hot out, I don't wear anything under my suit. Well, I do now. I wasn't wearing anything.
Well, still, even if you weren't, I mean...
Right through my suit.
Right through your suit. Right into your...
right in the crease, you know, between my leg and my...
Oh, that's painful.
It like bruised. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway. So when I went in that hive, I was like, yeah, this hive is completely chock full and they are going to swarm if I don't split them. So, so I decided I would do that. So I got another box. When you split them, I look at it that, because if a hive doesn't have enough room for the queen to keep laying and the workers to keep bringing resources in, then half the hive along with the queen will leave to go find another space where they have more room. And I didn't want that to happen. So we can kind of simulate that happening by moving half the hive and the queen over to another box. Then they won't swarm on their own. That's when you see a bunch of bees hanging out in a tree or on the side of somebody's house, that's usually what it is a swarm that's just hanging out while they look for another space to live. So, I didn't want that to happen. So I did. I took half the bees. I could not find the queen. I looked and I looked and I looked and couldn't find the queen. So after looking through every frame twice, I gave up and said, okay, I'll just make sure that I'm transferring some brand new eggs to the new one. They'll just have to make their own queen. I didn't know what else to do. But I didn't feel good about that,
Right.
You really don't know what's going to happen. Are they going to make a new queen? Are they going to... what? I didn't know what they would do. So the day that I went... So that was like, I don't know, Saturday maybe. And then Tuesday, I went out to put the ratchet straps on to prepare for the hurricane. And I thought, okay, I'm not going to go through every hive again because I just inspected every hive 4 days ago. I am going to go into the one hive and look for the queen again. And I found her.
What did you do? Did you move her?
Yeah, I moved that whole frame to the split.
Well, were the splits already making a new queen or no?
No, it wasn't long enough for them to do that. So, yeah, so I moved it over and I'm just waiting now. I'll go in them again this weekend and see if the one that I took the split from, if they've, made a queen cell, because they'll have to make a new queen now, which is what they would do anyways if they split. Right. So hopefully they're in the process of making a new queen. And I've been feeding that other hive, the split.
Right.
So, because I put, that was a little iffy because I couldn't put a feeder. I have solid tops on all my hives with a hole for a feeder jar. And of course I couldn't put that on with the storm coming. So I had just moved one frame of honey and bee bread.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but I thought, well, I moved a lot of bees. I didn't know how long that would last. So I've been feeding them.
Oh, okay.
I've fed them a couple times since the storm. Yeah, and it's chock full of bees, so they're really doing well in there.
And so when you feed them and you don't feed the other ones, the other hives don't rob that one?
I don't think so. I put, I put the entrance reducer on in the smallest space to give them as much, as little room that they had to guard as possible.
Right.
So, yeah. So I always do that when I do a split because I always feel like they're a little vulnerable. They're not as big as they will be.
See, I didn't do that when I split mine last year. I did not do that, and the other bees went in and robbed them and killed them. And
oh no!
Yeah, so I had created 2 splits at the end of last year, and both of those splits died. Oh. And then the other, I did it in the fall. I shouldn't have done it in the fall. I should have done it in the spring, I guess. And so that's what made the other hives weak. They just never the other hives didn't recover. They didn't create the new bees like I thought that they would. So I had a struggle. And so now I'm afraid to split because I had like a bad experience. I'm traumatized.
Oh no. Try again.
Yes, I know.
what you have to do with beekeeping.
I
It's
know.
like,
Well, see, I
just
don't
when you
want
think
any
you've
more
figured it-
hives.
yeah.
That's a problem for me too. I just really, I maxed out with 3. I don't want to spend any more time out there, going through and fixing them. So if I created a split, I mean, maybe I'd just give it to you. Or if you still wanted more, I mean, at some point you'll max out too, and you'll be like, it's not a hobby.
Right. Well, I did just get accepted to that program at UF.
That's right.
For starting a beekeeping business.
That's right. Well, you should tell everybody about that program. I mean, UF is really University of Florida. I mean, it's huge in the entomology department.
Yes.
And they have, some of the premier experts on entomology.
They do.
Particularly beekeeping.
Right.
So you should tell them about that program you got accepted to. It's super exciting.
I'm very excited about it. So they sent out an email to all the registered beekeepers in the state of Florida earlier this year and said that they were partnering up with the USDA, and they had a grant for a program they were calling Leveling Up, which is for amateur beekeepers who might want to start a business with beekeeping on, how to set up the business, the accounting part of it, the legal part of it, different products from, beeswax and honey.
Lip balm to soap.
They're going to teach us all of that. And it's a 3-year program. Wow. They said they had over 350 applicants, and they accepted 30. And I was picked.
So that's so exciting.
One of the 30. Yeah.
Well, 3 years. I mean, you have to be going in deep dive into all of that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
I'm
very
really
cool.
excited about it. It's a lot more fun than mortgages at this point. I'll be honest. So I'm enjoying it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and they, most of the meetings are over Zoom. There was just one on Tuesday night. But then in October, I'll go up to Gainesville to the University of Florida campus, and I'll have an in-person meeting for a couple days. So
that's really cool. Yeah. That's so awesome. Now, when you finish, are you going to be like a master beekeeper as well, or
no? That's something different.
Okay.
That's something different.
I didn't know if it was a combo.
No.
No combo pack.
No, it's not. I do want to do that too, though, and I started. They have a program where you can, if you're an existing beekeeper, they have a master beekeeper program that I think is 5 years or something. It's really pretty extensive, but you start off as an apprentice beekeeper, but if you already have bees, you can skip the apprentice portion if you do a written test and show that you're proficient. You have to film yourself doing an inspection. So I passed the written part. I just have to do the inspection now. So I might ask for your help.
I would love to come film you do an inspection. I think that would be super fun. So just tell me when you're ready.
All right. I'll
do that.
Yeah.
That's exciting. That's
exciting. I'll wait till it cools down a little bit.
Yeah.
Might as well be comfortable while we're out there.
But it's so exciting that we're very fortunate to have those resources.
For sure.
For us. I mean, honeybees are super important.
They are.
So.
And interesting. It's always something new and different. And
I
everybody likes to hear about them. We actually, on our Instagram page, one of our followers was asking some questions. I don't know if you saw that. Did you see that earlier this week?
I did not.
She said, so if... her first question was, how long do honeybees live? And I said, well, the queen can live 3 to 5 years, but the workers only live 45 to 60 days. And her follow-up question was, well, how does the hive stay going then if they die so soon? And I said, that's a great question. It's because the queen lays between 1,000 and 1,500 eggs per day.
That's a lot of eggs. She's a busy girl.
She is a busy girl. She is doing nothing but laying eggs 24/7.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, so we learn something new every day, and everybody seems to find it interesting.
They are interesting, and I'm excited. I got to get into my bees on Sunday.
Me too.
I was supposed to get into them before we left on vacation, and I was so stressed out, trying to get work. Do you guys know how it is the week before you go on vacation? You're stressed out trying to get everything done. So
the most productive week of the
year.
Yeah,
exactly.
Crazy.
Exactly. So I'm getting everything done I'm getting 2 weeks worth of work done in 1 week. And we were prepping for the hurricane the same week.
It's too much.
And so I was just like, okay, something's got to give. The bees will be okay. They'll do their thing.
Take care of themselves for the most part.
Yeah. So then we came back, and I'll get into them this weekend. But I was like super anxiety ridden over this. I said, why do I give myself hobbies that I have anxiety about?
I know. I do the same.
I need to get the honey out. I wanted to harvest some of the honey.
Oh.
And before the Brazilian pepper trees started blooming. Mm-hmm. And when we came back, all the Brazilian pepper trees are blooming. The bees are so busy. I have, for you guys, I have a vacant lot beside the lot where my house is. And it's all filled up with Brazilian pepper trees. Now, they're an invasive species. People who are strictly Florida, there's Florida kind of naturalists. They want us to get rid of those.
Oh yeah, my husband cut down so many Brazilian pepper trees in the vacant land next door to our property.
Yeah.
If he'd been trying to do that now, I would be so angry.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, no, just leave those, because the bees make a wonderful honey out of this, and it blooms after all of the palms bloom in the spring and this year during the summer. I mean,
so
I feel
weird.
like it
we
went
had no dirt.
No. So now they're bringing in all this honey. I see the girls, they're out there, they're so busy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know where they're putting the honey, because I should have given them some space. Oh. So I need to get in there.
Well, you'll do that this weekend, right? I mean, you have flow hives, so it's just like turning a knob, right?
I do have to just turn it on.
And
I'm going to video.
I want to come over and see that.
Well, if I do it
and
Sunday,
I'll video it for you.
There you go. There you go. And Peach has not just the flow hive, but the regular frames on top that they filled with honey already. Before I even left on vacation, they were filled. Wow. And then on top of that are the jars that I did with the honey, and they were building in that. So,
oh my gosh,
I don't have any idea what I'm going to open that up to. Hopefully filled with honey, and I can start just taking it out.
I bet, yeah.
Hopefully, and it's interesting because all of those honeys have a different flavor. Mm-hmm. That flavor for the orange blossoms is completely different than the palm tree, right? Sable palms. And then the Brazilian pepper tree is a completely different flavor than the other ones. And I'm amazed how opinionated people are about those. I mean, there are strong feelings on which honey is the best.
I know. And I like the palm, the saw palmetto honey. Yeah. That has a really nice, rich flavor to me. It does. The Brazilian pepper is not my favorite. It's just a little, do you?
I love it.
And I get so much of it. I mean, we have a lot of Brazilian pepper. I'm very close to the Manatee River, and I think there's a lot of Brazilian pepper around here.
Oh,
and so
I wanted to tell you, the jalapenos that you gave me last time? They were delicious.
Oh, they were?
I put them in cornbread. And we ate almost the whole jar. I used it in the cornbread, and then we went and got the jar and then put it on instead of like butter. Delicious. It was such a spicy honey with the jalapenos.
Oh, good.
Absolutely fabulous.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yes. I'll make you some more of it, because did you see my garden out in the dining room? I have lots more.
Lots of jalapenos.
There's little too spicy for me.
Oh,
Good.
it was.
I'm
It
so
was
glad
wonderful.
you liked it.
Yeah, I mean, we still have a little bit left, but it was so good.
Yeah?
And yeah, when I made it, Jason and Patrick were like, no, 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 no.
Oh, I'm so glad you're telling me that.
Yeah.
And you know what? That was such a super easy recipe. All I did was heat some honey. I took jalapenos. I took most of the seeds out. Otherwise, it would have been really hot.
Right?
And chopped them up and put them in some honey and heated it to boiling and boiled it for like maybe 10 minutes and then stuck it in a jar.
Wow.
That's it.
It was really good.
Good. I'm glad you liked it. And that was Brazilian pepper honey, because I thought that
you used the last of your Brazilian pepper in there because you were like, it would be good with the jalapenos.
Yeah.
And it was.
Good.
So,
I'm
good
glad.
job.
Good. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. That makes me happy.
Oh, is that all we have for today?
I think it might be.
Okay.
Well, listen, I hope everybody has a good couple weeks.
Yeah.
And if you like our content, please like and subscribe.
Yes.
And send us comments. We'd love to hear from you.
Yep.
And I guess we'll see you in a couple weeks at most, because I really missed doing this.
A month is way too long to go in between, so we definitely have to stay on track.
That's right.
This was kind of a weird little situation.
It was, but we got through it.
Yeah,
so we're off and running.
Yep. All right, everybody,
right.
have a good couple of weeks, and we will see you later.
Yep. Happy knitting and happy
Beekeeping.